9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Face in your face. Face in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching the channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense, because here on this platform, we talk about everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also, the subscriber mode has been enabled for 10 minutes, meaning that if you are not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe in order to enter a comment. I see we already had a comment regarding tonight's topic by USA. Good evening, USA. And USA's opinion, reason why people cyberbully, that it helps people's ego. Um, I'm sure with some people it is, but let me just state that first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who've already subscribed to the channel. Whether you've been a supporter from the very beginning or just joined as late as today, I really appreciate all your support. I also want to send a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. I also want to send a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices, and all those who watch from the clouds, including the haters. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So as you can see by the thumbnail, tonight's topic, why cyberbullying. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be discussing the why. Okay. Um, Last week I talked about cyberbullying, what it is. Tonight I'm going to be discussing the why. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have another episode of In My Words. So we're going to be talking, of course, we're going to be talking politics, okay? Mainly the presidential election, okay? Now, sometime there was an agreement between Donald Trump and Joe Biden that they will have two debates. The first one was conducted last month, which we all saw that Joe Biden had an extremely poor performance, and basically it was a battle between two old grumpy men. And there was going to be another debate scheduled for, I believe, September on ABC. Well, guess what, folks? It looks like Donald Trump is not going to have is not going to attempt the second debate. And the official reason is because supposedly that the Democratic Party has not finalized who's going to be their standard bearer. Okay. In all fairness, okay, when they schedule the debates, their respective parties don't have their conventions. So technically, they were not officially recognized as the standard bearers until both parties have their conventions. Now, the truth of the matter is Donald Trump is avoiding Kamala Harris to have a debate. Okay. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. Now, let me tell you why I think that is the case. First of all, the fact of the matter is, number one, whatever you might feel about Kamala Harris, uh, she is younger, she's more alert, she has cognitive skills, and she's an excellent debater. And she's going to put into question regarding many things, which is, of course, is going to be the January 6th insurrection, the fact that he was convicted of 34 charges, um, the fact that he's been impeached twice. Okay, of course, when it comes to the sentencing, we don't know what's going to happen. Good evening, Ramon. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay. Now, let me just state for the record that Ramon has his YouTube channel called The Intro Boricua, where he shares content. So I'm going to ask you, if you've not done so, please subscribe and to his channel, check his content. I mean, Donald Trump has showed the signs of being a bully, which is all talk and no action. Okay. So now he's waiting until supposedly the Democratic National Convention have its convention to formalize who's going to be their candidate. But let's not forget that back in 2020, that he skipped out of the debate with Joe Biden, even after he recovered from COVID. He decided not to debate Joe Biden, but basically just calling names. Which is what he's doing right now. Kamala Harris. Okay. So when you don't have a good record to run out, what you gotta do? You gotta call people names. You gotta call them everything by the child of God. Okay. So are we gonna have any debates between these two? I would like to see it, but realistically speaking, no. Okay. Also, today he attended a conference of black journalists, of which um, there was a question regarding his remarks that he made regarding minorities, which many would see to be racist. So he was asked to address the issue. So instead of addressing the issue, just basically just continue to, you know, to call people names, um, deflect, and talking about Kamala Harris and whatever. And questions regarding her identity, or who she is. Okay, for those who are mentally challenged, okay, Kamala Harris is the offspring of a Jamaican father and an Indian mother. Okay, so she's not fully black, she's not fully Asian, she is mixed. Okay, okay, fine. You know what? It'll be interesting. Okay, so this is the whole point, and people talking about that she's gonna be the first black female to be president. Okay, first of all, she's not completely black and she's not completely Asian. She is Asian. Okay, but in any case, um, this is not the first time when being asked to address regarding remarks that he has made, that instead of being honest and taking accepting accountability, but doing everything, yes, she'll be the first Blasian to become president. So instead of taking accountability, it's deflection, 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 which is which is a sign of being a bully. Okay. So the fact that I'm talking about Donald Trump, I think it's appropriate regarding tonight's discussion. Why people cyberbully. So we shall see. And of course, he refused to answer whether, the question, will he accept the outcome of the election? He didn't accept it on 2020. I would think if he's not elected, he's not going to accept the outcome. Okay, but we shall see. So, and I'm happy to report that my knee is getting stronger. Okay, I'm able to increase the range, and I would say within a couple of weeks, I'll be able to put aside my cane and I can walk like a regular person. But I really do appreciate all the love and all the concern that people share about, express towards me. Okay. So, and of course, we all have to deal with bullies at one time or another because people are weak. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you, Irving. Thank you very much. Okay. And of course, I got to give a huge shout out to my supporters. Okay. I have now reached 430 subs on my main channel. Okay. Speaking about that, I just want to let everybody know that I have another channel called Latina Diaspora where I discuss issues pertaining to Latinos, particularly Latinos living in the United States. And if you're interested, in the description, there's a link to that channel. So I'm going to ask that you, whenever you have an opportunity, please check that out, subscribe, and set the bell notifications to all. So therefore, whenever I produce content on that channel, you will be notified. And I just want to let everybody know that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to hop on the panel and express their point of view regarding the topic, they are more than welcome to do so. Let me just state for the record that if I never seen you before, if I never heard of you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage. So therefore, I would know that you're not going to try to flash any inappropriate or pornographic images which will cause the people of YouTube to take down this stream. So, and actually, I'm going to be doing a stream Saturday. Okay. Saturday at 10 o'clock. And the discussion is going to be, is Donald Trump afraid to debate Kamala Harris? Based on what we've seen so far, it would appear to be the case. So I will have a discussion. Of course, everyone will have an opportunity to reply, not just those who support Kamala Harris, but those who support Donald Trump as well. Okay? So it'll be your opportunity to give your rebuttal and things of that nature. So, with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. So, as I stated earlier, the topic for tonight is why cyberbullying. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, there are many reasons why people cyberbully. Okay, all of it is, that people do it to maintain anonymity. There are people who have issues of self-esteem, and the only way they can feel good is to try to bully other people. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. Okay. So actually, I came across an article on a website called "Delete Cyberbullying." Okay, and they put down a comment: "They have no life," which is factual. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. So we're going to deal with the question: why do people cyberbully? Cyberbullying happens for many people of the same reasons as any other type of bullying, but it may be more appealing because it can be done anonymously. Stop Bullying Gov describes two kinds of people who are likely to bully: those who are popular and those who are on the social fringes. Okay. So, of course, it's talking about kids or teens, but the same thing can apply to adults. Popular people may bully because they see it as a way to stay popular, and hurting others makes them feel powerful. Okay. Now, people who are less socially successful may bully because of it helps them to cope with their own low self-esteem. They think it will help them to fit in with their peers. They have trouble empathizing with those they hurt. Okay. In general, bullies' behavior usually stems from their own problems. StopBullying.gov reports that bullies tend to have less involved parents, to be less excited about school, and to be depressed or anxious. They often have trouble controlling their emotions and impulses and find it hard to follow the rules. Okay. Kind of reminds me of someone that I'm not going to mention that likes to try to cyberbully people. Okay. There are some other reasons why people may do their bullying online. And everybody says sounds like a sociopath. Yes, I agree. Here are some of the reasons. Anonymity. Cyberbullying allows bullies to avoid facing their victims, so it requires less courage and providing the illusion that bullies won't get caught. Ignorance of the consequences. The National Council of Crime Prevention report that in, in a survey of teenagers, 81% said that they believe they had been cyberbullied because they think it's funny, because they don't see the victims' reactions in person. Cyberbullies may not realize how much damage they are doing. Social pressure. Some cyberbullies may think that their behavior is normal and socially acceptable, especially when friends egg them on. Okay. So I'm going to park it here. Okay, just make sure. So we kind of deal with some of the whys, okay? And of course, when it comes to cyberbullying, it comes in many forms. What they may do is they may air um, personal information regarding their victims. They may load images of other people without their consent for the purposes of harassment or bullying. Okay, we have seen this here on many times on YouTube when you have certain individuals that will load images without their consent, particularly in order to embarrass, um, humiliate, also to spread lies regarding their character. Okay, okay. So, excuse me. Also, they may threaten use no, they may use their personal information to threaten. Okay. Now, when I discuss this regarding cyberbullying, um, how to deal with this individual is in social media, whenever they're on a social platform, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, or what have you, you need to report. Okay, report it to the platform. Okay, and then it'll be up to the various platforms to take action. Okay, which could be anything like as far be anything from having the contact removed, and if they continue and be egregious about it, having them have their channels or their platforms channels deleted. Now we have seen um, create contact creators who will have their channels deleted because they cyberbullying. Okay. However, many times they manage to come back, usually and create another channel. Okay. Um, I'm going to give you a perfect example of someone who repeatedly violated the guidelines on YouTube, Cynthia G. Okay. On many occasions, she had produced content speaking very ill will regarding African American men, going to the extent of wishing that they be deleted, particularly deleted prior to birth. Okay. Now, despite the fact that her channels have been deleted, despite the fact that she's been demonetized, in other words, lose the ability to make money off of YouTube, continue the same behavior. Why? Issues issues of low self-esteem, issues regarding wanting to feel hurt people or wanted to damage their reputation. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another article. Just give me a moment. Let me just see. That's not what I want to do. Okay. Yeah, you know what? This is the thing. Yeah, I do think that some of these people need to be placed in the rubber room. Um, okay, please give me a moment because I was having some. Yep, the circus. Exactly. Exactly. So as you can see, as you can see, the circus is alive and unwell. Okay. 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 So now I'm going to share another article. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay. So I came across another website called Very Well Mind. So let me just check and see. Okay. So the article is called The Psychology of Cyberbullying. Okay. And it was updated December the 31st of last year. Okay. So let's get to the article. Okay. And we see an image of a young girl who appears to be the victim of cyberbullying. S- Cyberbullying refers to the use of digital technology to cause harm to other people. This typically involves the use of the internet, but may also take place through mobile phones. Um, Social media is one of the primary channels through which cyberbullying take place, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and more. Cyberbullying has been deemed a public health problem, with the prevalence of cyberbullying doubling from 2007 to 2019, and 59% of teens in the United States reporting that may have been bullied or harassed online. In general, cyberbullying is a recent issue with increasing numbers of people using the internet. Much of the focus of research is how cyberbullying affects the victim, without a lot of focus on how to cope with cyberbullying, how to reduce cyberbullying, or what to do if you are cyberbullied yourself. Cyberbullies can appear through social media, inside wellness apps, in public forums, during gaming, and more. However, more personal cyberbullying will operate through email, texting, or direct messaging. It's been argued that cyberbullying is defined in light of five main criteria: intention to harm, reputation, power imbalance, anonymity, and publicity. Intention to harm. Cyberbullying bullies generally have the intention to cause harm when they engage in online bullying. However, bullying can still take place without intention if the victim recently see actions to be harmful. Repetition. Repetition is a hallmark, a characteristic of cyberbullying. This refers to the repeated actions on the part of the bully, but also the fact that the material that is shared on the internet could last much longer than the original post, through sharing and reposting by others. This is especially true in the case of sharing personal information or photos in the form of cyberbullying. Power imbalance. One of the other hallmark traits of bullying is that victims usually experience a power imbalance with their bully. The power differential can be due to a bully having more status, wealth, popularity, talent, etc. Cyberbullying can be severe and relentless, and the victim often has little control to stop the bullying. Anonymity. Some cyberbullies make use of anonymity to hide behind their computer screens when they engage in bullying. In this case, there is no need for a power imbalance in the relationship between the bully and the victim, making it possible for anyone to be a bully. Anonymity allows the bully to engage in an increased degree of cruelty that would not occur if the identity was known. Publicity. Following. Another trait of cyberbullying is sometimes involved the use of publicity. This is especially true of those who choose to publicly humiliate or shame someone. They can especially impact if it takes place in a public calling with the potential to reach a large audience. So now we're going to be talking about the different types, forms of bullying. Okay. Flaming or roasting refers to using inflammatory language and hurling insults at someone or broadcast offensive messages about them in the hope of eliciting a reaction. One example would be Donald Trump's use of the phrase "Crooked Hillary" or "Sleepy Joe Biden." Kind of reminds me of someone that we know. Aldi involves sharing personal or embarrassing information about someone on the internet. This type of cyberbullying usually takes place on a larger scale rather than one-on-one or in a smaller group. Trolling refers to posting content or comments with the goal of causing chaos and division. In other words, a troll will say something derogatory or offensive about the person or group, which is the sole intention of getting people riled up. This type of cyberbullying enjoys creating chaos and then sitting back and watching what happens. Name calling. Name calling involves using offensive language to refer to other people. Reports show that 42% of teens said that they have been called offensive names through their mobile phones or on the internet. Spreading false rumors. Cyberbullies who spread false rumors make up stories about individuals and then spread these false truths online. In the same report, 32% of teens say that someone has spread false rumors about them on the internet. Sending explicit images or messages. Cyberbullies may also send explicit images or messages without the consent of the victim. Cyberstalking, harassing, physical threats. Some cyberbullying will repeatedly target the same people through cyberstalking, cyber harassment, or physical threats. In the same report, 16% of teens report they have been the victims of physical threats on the internet. So now we're going to talk about why do people cyberbully? And of course, we mustn't forget the doxing, which is basically posting confidential, private information about other people without their consent. Mental health issues. Cyberbullying may be living with mental health issues that relate to their bullying or make it worse. Examples include problems with behavioral issues such as aggression, hyperactivity, impulsivity, as well as substance abuse. Again, kind of reminds me of someone we know. In addition, with those whose personality features resemble the dark tyrant of psychology, mechanism, deception, manipulative, sadism, deriving pleasure from harming others, and narcissism may be at risk for cyberbullying. These individuals tend to violate social norms, have a low level of empathy for other people, and may bully others as a way to increase their sense of power of worth. So now we're going to be talking about the victims of bullying. Cyberbullies sometimes become bullies after having experienced cyberbullying themselves. In this way, they may be looking to feel more in control or lash out after feeling victimized and being unable to retaliate to the original bully. It may seem like a dichotomous world of bullying or be bullied, not having the insight that there is another pathway. Results of conflict or breakups. Cyberbullying that takes place between two people that were previously friends or in a relationship may be triggered by conflicts in the friendship or the breakup of the relationship. In this way, this type of cyberbullying might be viewed as driven by anger, jealousy, or revenge. Another cause, boredom or trying out a new persona. It has been suggested some people engage in cyberbullying due to boredom or to decide to try a new persona on the internet. This is more likely among young people or teenagers who are still developing their sense of identity. This type of cyberbullying will be typically anonymous. Loneliness or isolation. Cyberbullies may be people who struggle with feeling isolated or lonely in society. They may feel ignored by others. They may lash out as a way to get attention or feel better or vent their rage at society. Now we're going to be talking about why people become cyberbullies. Okay, I just want to make sure that there's no one waiting in the backstage so I can join the panel. While some people are bullies in both in real life and online, there are others who only become bullies in the digital space. Why? In this case, why would anyone bully others online when they would never do that in their everyday life? There are multiple possible explanations for this behavior. Non-confrontational and anonymous. The first reason why people may become bullies online is that they were not bullied in their everyday life has to do with the nature of the internet. A person can bully others online and remain completely anonymous. Clearly, this is not possible with traditional bullying. Just as a side note, these people are cowards, okay? They would never confront anyone directly face to face, but they can confront people and bully behind a keyboard. So basically, these are what I call keyboard warriors. Again, like someone like we know. In addition, online bullying can be done in a non-confrontational way, particularly if it is anonymous. This means that a cyberbully may skip about on the internet, leaving nasty comments and not stick around to hear the replies. No need for popularity or physical dominance. In order for a bully to be around, you typically need have some advantage over your victim. This might mean that you're physically larger than them. It might mean that you're more popular than them, or it might mean that you have some sort of power and balance over them. Good evening, Don Armando. Thank you very much for stopping by. And just to let everybody know, Don Armando has his channel, so I'm going to ask that you please show some love and subscribe to his channel, check out his content. In contrast, anyone can cyberbully. There is no need to have a physical dominance or popularity. This means people who want to bully can easily do so on the internet, regardless of their status in their real life. No barrier to entry. Similar to the concept, but there's no need to be dominant or popular. There is also a very low barrier to entry to become cyberbully. Anyone with access to the internet can get started. Friends are defined loosely online, which creates a situation that makes it easy to bully others. No feedback from the victim. Finally, the last reason people do not bully in real life May engage in cyberbullying has to do with the lack of feedback from their victims. Cyberbullies usually engage in bullying over an extended period of time, largely because there is general less personal feedback from the victim and less retaliation compared to face-to-face interaction. Someone who in real life will see the impact on their victim and back up may not do the same in the case of cyberbullying. Now, how does cyberbullying differ from in-person bullying? In the case of cyberbullying, the victim generally has no escape from the abuse or harassment. Unlike real-life encounter, online bullying and internet never really shut down, and bullying may be unrelenting. This this can make the victim feel as though there's no escape, particularly if the bullying involves sharing their personal information or when someone posted about them goes viral. This type of bullying can go on for an extended period of time. So now we're going to be dealing with the effects of cyberbullying. There are numerous effects that may be seen in those who are dealing with cyberbullying. It can be helpful to know what to expect to see in a victim, and this can be one way to identify when someone is being bullied online. Some of the facts are even stronger than what they're seeing with traditional bullying, as the victim cannot escape the abusive situation. They may include feelings of distress and anxiety about the bullying, increases feelings of depression and mood swings, problem falling asleep or staying asleep, increased feelings of fearfulness, feelings of low self-esteem or self-worth, social isolation, withdrawing from friend groups or spending a lot of time alone, avoiding doing things that they used to enjoy, increased feelings of anger, irritability, or angry outbursts, poor academic performance, problems with relationship with family and members of friends, symptoms of post-traumatic stress, self-harm, including cutting, hitting yourself, headbanging, self-deletion, ideation, or attempt at self-deletion, substance abuse. So these are the things that could, that if left untreated, can cause the victim to perform any of these things. Okay. Now we're going to get into the characterization of the victims. There are some common aspects of the victims tend to repeat themselves, including the following characteristics. Teens and young adults are most at risk. In the case of spreading false rumors or being the reception of explicit images, girls are most likely to be victims. People who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender may be victims more often. Those who are shy, socially awkward, or don't fit in easily may become victims. People from lower income households are more likely to become victims. People who use the internet constantly are more likely to become victims of online bullying. Anyone can become a victim of cyberbullying, even people who are considered public figures. People who have large followings on social media often tend to become targets for cyberbullying. So now we're going to deal with how to deal with a cyberbullying. There are many ways to deal with cyberbullying as a child, adult, or as a parent of a child being bullied on the internet. Let's take a look at each of these issues separately. As a child or a teen, cyberbullying can come from classmates, people in chat rooms, gamers, family members, or anonymous internet trolls. It can be mildly annoying or severely threatening. If you're being harassed, bullied, or stalked, threatened, these are three things we recommend. Talk to an adult that you trust for assistance, parents or a teacher or a principal or another adult you can rely on. If the bullying is making threats, the police may need to get involved. Say a bit before the communication that the bullying is sending to you emails, pictures, texts, links, documents, etc., and take screenshots if necessary. Do not feed the lies. Your response can be like food for the bully and make them want to harass you even more, which is why you don't engage with these cyberbullying. Um, and again, this is an individual that's been um, cyberbullying several people, and my approach is basically not to confront them and just to report them on YouTube, Twitter, and any other platform as the appropriate. Do not give any personal information such as your address, birthday, phone number, or social security, bank account information, etc. Even if you willing to participate in a conversation with someone online, you did not ask to be bullied. Do not let guilt or embarrassing stop you from getting help. It is not your fault. Now, as a parent, if your child is being bullied online, the best course of action is to instruct them not to respond to the internet bully. In addition, tell them to document each instance of cyberbullying by saving text messages, emails, photos, and other forms of communication. This can be done using screenshots if necessary. Ask your child to forward this information to you so that you have records of everything. Next, if the cyberbullying originates from school content, report instances of cyberbullying to the teacher, principal, administrative staff at your school. In the case of extreme bullying or threats, you should also report the bullying behavior to the police. Finally, it's important to reassure your child that they're not to blame for bullying online. Some victims may feel this behavior has created the problem and they are somehow the blame. For this reason, it's important to make your child know what happened and it's not their fault. As an adult, many of the same principles up above will apply to your situation as an adult dealing with a cyberbullying. First of all, keep a record of all instances of cyberbullying, whether they come through text messages, message chats, in Facebook groups, Instagram DMs, or other online sources. Take screenshots and keep folders on your computer with evidence of the cyberbullying. Next, if you know the source of cyberbullying, determine whether or not there's a cause action you can take to recover that person. For example, if it's a work colleague, a supervisor, is there someone at HR at work that you can speak to? If it's a family member, if there's a way to bring the issue to the family members or ask for their support. Finally, if it's someone you only know online, you can block them or delete them from all your social media. The best source of action would be to ignore the cyberbullying as much as possible. However, if you're receiving threats, then you will want to report them to the police along with evidence that you have collected. So. Okay, it is not enough for the victims of cyberbullying to deal with the bullies and try to find solutions. Oftentimes, these victims are emotionally distraught and unable to find help. It is our job as a community to work towards establishing systems that prevent cyberbullying from taking place at all. Some potential ideas, initiatives are listed below. Kids and teens with cyberbullying are still learning how to regulate their emotions and deal with social situations. Cyberbullies at this age could have lasting permanent effects. Mental health resources should be put in place to help victims of cyberbullying manage their mental health. Cyberbullying thrives on status and approval. Cyberbullies will stop when the social rejection of cyberbullying becomes so widespread and prevalent that they no longer have anything to gain. This means that every instance of online bullying that is witnessed, especially in the case of troll comments, should be ignored. In addition, should be awareness campaigns that online bullying is not only not acceptable, but is a sign of weak social status. Schools are at the point of contact for parents to help their children who are being cyberbullied. For this reason, schools should have programs and protocols in place to immediately and swiftly deal with cyberbullying. Parents should not have to ask multiple times for help without receiving it. Now, what if you are the cyberbully? Good question. What happens if you are the cyberbully yourself? If you're engaged in cyberbullying and you want to stop, you need to take stock of your reasons for engaging in the bullying, and this will inform your best course of action. Let us consider each of these what you can do. You're struggling with a mental health issue. Again, this kind of reminds me of someone we all know. If you feel that though as your mental health is not in good shape and this might could be contributing to your cyberbullying behavior, make an appointment with your doctor to discuss options. For example, if you struggle with anger management, you might need the benefit of an anger management program. If you have low empathy for others or identify with the traits of psychology, then it may be harder for you to find insight and desire to change. However, you can try to channel your energy to different pursuits. For example, if you're cyberbullying someone because it gives you a thrill, is there a hobby that you can take up or a business that will help you start and will give you the thrill without consequences for another person? If you were a victim yourself, if you were once a victim of cyberbullying and that's is the reason why you're not engaged in cyberbullying yourself, it's time to take a look at your options for change. It could be that you have unresolved anger that needs to be taken out in a different way. You may feel more powerful when you're bullied, which helps you to stop feeling a victim. In that case, you may need to work on other ways to improve your sense of self so you can stop feeling helpless and out of control. After all, you were once a victim yourself and you know how that feels. Rather than continue cycle of cyberbullying and victimhood, you have the chance to break the cycle and rise above the past. You'll most likely need help to do that and most likely inform professional assistance to work through your past. Now, if you had a conflict or a breakup, if you're cyber stalking someone because of a conflict they have with them or a bad breakup, it's time to reevaluate your behavior. What do you hope to achieve from your cyberbullying? Again, you may need the help of a professional to work through your feelings that may led you to this behavior. You are lonely or isolated. What if you're just lonely? And this is the reason why you resorted to cyberbullying. This type of bully falls into the arena of people who may feel like the world's passed them by, or that everyone else is out there enjoying life while you are alone. In that case, you find ways to start building up your in-person social connections, join a club, volunteer some, or take up a hobby to meet other people like yourself. You are bored. If you're cyberbullying because you are bored and you're not a psychopath, then you want to consider why you think it's acceptable to hurt someone else in exchange of making yourself less bored. Certainly, a lot of people are bored in this world, but they never cyberbully. Take up a hobby, learn a second language, or find something to do. If you are the victim of cyberbullying, know that you're not alone, that there are options to help. If you're struggling, you can visit the following. The cyberbullying hotline, 1-800-VICTIMS, stopbullying.gov. Finally, if you are cyberbullying yourself, it is never too late to change. Examine the reason for being a bully, and if you can find some alternative to stop the behavior. And we got a pocket here. So basically, we got a lot of information um, to assess. Okay. So what we did was we discussed the definition of cyberbullying. What we did, we discussed the causes of cyberbullying. What we discussed is who are more likely to be victims. But we also discussed how to deal with it. Okay. But what main thing is not to engage with these people. Okay. Because the problem is when you engage with these people, what you're doing is you're enabling these people to continue. Okay. Also, what you're doing is you're letting them know that what they're doing are affecting you. And in essence, what you're doing is you're giving them more authority and more power to conduct their behavior, which is why when it comes to cyberbullying, okay, what you do, ignore them, okay? If people are posting negative comments or images on social platforms, report it to the various platforms, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Instagram, or what have you. Okay, so there are options to help you to deal with cyberbullies. Okay, and of course, if you are a child, by all means, reach out to your parents or to an adult that you trust. And if this is being done through school computers, reach out to a teacher or administrator. If this is something that's happening on the at your place of employment, reach out to your supervisor or reach out to HR. Okay, because there are consequences to for people who cyberbully others. Okay, and among the consequences could be termination. Okay, so in other words, you all have options how to deal with cyberbullying. Okay, let's see. Exactly. Well, let's. The fact of the matter is this: cyberbullies, there are cowards and there are keyboard warriors. Okay, because it does not take a lot of courage to get behind a keyboard and make threats in the internet or low image as other people without their consent. Okay. Now, this is something that's happened not just to me, but to other people that I know as well. And what's been our approach? Reporting. Okay. Report it to YouTube, report it to Twitter or X as they call themselves now. And just continue. Which reminds me of a statement which I have made on my social media. I wish I'm going to repeat it again. Anyone, and I repeat, anyone that use any of my content without my consent, and particularly use any of my content for threatening or trolling, they will be immediately be reported, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Snapchat, whether it be whatever form of social media. Okay. So I have been talking for about an hour. So my question is the following. Um, as I stated from the beginning, the link to join the panel has been pinned. All of you are more than welcome to join the panel to opine, okay, regarding the topic. Or if you have been the unfortunate victims of cyberbullying, and if you feel brave enough to share your experiences, you're more than welcome to do so. Let me make it perfectly clear: you're not obligated to do so. Okay. Some people may not feel comfortable sharing their personal experiences of cyberbullying. Okay, and I'm gonna respect your decision. It's up to you. Okay. The whole purpose of this stream is to discuss why people cyberbully and what could be done. Okay, so you might feel that you don't have any options dealing with cyberbullying. As I just illustrated for the last 45 minutes, you do have options. Okay, there are things that you can do. Among them, ignore them. Do not engage with them because, again, if you engage with them, basically what you're doing is you're giving them more authority. Okay, because they are seeking attention. The best form of revenge is to ignore them if you can. Okay. If they load your images or if they know any confidential information, report it immediately. Do not wait. Well, I appreciate it, Don Armando. Okay. But, the fact of the matter is this. Also, another thing what will help you. Do not share personal information on the internet. Okay. Okay. Yes. But do not share information because what any information that you share stays in the internet forever. Even if you delete it, someone might have taken screenshots and then just load it. Okay. Recently, one individual reposted something of an image on Twitter. What I did, reported it to Twitter. Okay. There have been people who loaded my content, my images without my consent. I don't argue with them. I report them. Okay. And I have no problem reporting anyone that load my content without my consent and do the same thing with other people. Okay. Now, why should I? Now, you quick question. Why should I care if it happens to other people? Because if it happens to them, it's going to happen to you eventually. Okay. And that is the reason why. That's the reason why I do that. Okay. So again, the link to join the panel has been pinned. If no one wishes to join the panel, or no one has any further comments, then I will start to wrap up this stream. Okay. But one thing it does help if particularly for us who are YouTube creators, if we have a community that we can look after each other. Okay. And I'm fortunate because we have that here. I have a base of support of various YouTube creators who support my work and who also share my content. And I in turn reciprocate and do the same. Okay. Because when everything is said and done, most of us do not have large platforms. Okay. Like for example, myself, I have 430 subs. Don Armando has, I think, a good 20 to 25 more subs than I do. and then the other YouTube creators that have more subs, but we're all, in essence, small content creators. Okay. And all we're trying to do is produce content that we trust and hope that people will enjoy. Okay. So, excuse me. Next. Okay. So, as I stated from the beginning of the stream, I'm going to be doing the stream Saturday night at 10 o'clock. And the topic is going to be, is Donald Trump afraid of Kamala Harris? And I suspect that he is. And I base it because of the fact that, at least for the time being, he has chosen not to engage in any debate with Kamala Harris, and as a cyberbully, he's resorted to calling people's names, particularly names regarding her identity, and I'm sure they want to use other derogatory terms regarding their ethnicity. Okay. Well, one thing I will commend Kamala Harris is her level of professionalism. Okay. You may not agree with their platform, you may not agree with what she wishes to achieve, which is perfectly fine. But one thing you cannot take away is her level of professionalism. Okay. And you know what gets me? What's why I find amusing. Kamala Harris is basically doing the same thing to Donald Trump and the Republicans that they've been telling about her. And they got upset, okay? And they can't, so as bullies, they can dish it, but they can't take it, okay? That's another trait regarding bullies. Bullies can dish it, particularly if they're doing it behind, behind a camera, behind a computer. Oh yes, they can dish it out. But when it comes to taking it, that's something else. That's another issue altogether. Yeah. Okay, I apologize. I'm just having a senior moment. Okay, but I mean, we have seen it. We have seen it with Donald Trump in 2016 with his last we calling Hillary Clinton. We have seen it in 2020 regarding Joe Biden. Okay, particularly with some of the names that he had called regarding Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and other opponents and things of that nature. Now he's doing it with Kamala Harris. Okay. Because he cannot defend his platform. He cannot defend what he's done. Okay. So we are seeing in Donald Trump a bully. Okay. So looks like no one is going to join the panel. So I'm gonna start to wrap this up. Okay. Now I might take up the topic again, but it might be a different element regarding cyberbullying. Last week, I discussed what is cyberbullying. Tonight, I discuss um, why people cyberbully. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, if left unchecked, it can cause mental health issues with the victim, which is why it's very important to know how to effectively to deal with such behavior. Okay. So what I'm going to do is okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this string to bed. And again, I do appreciate all those who either watched it live or watched it from the playback. Okay. And of course, all of you are more than welcome to enter your comments after the stream is over. I will insist that you please be respectable, okay? Because because fact of the matter is, anyone who believes nasty comments, they will be deleted. It is that simple, okay? But again, I do appreciate all the love and all the support that you continue to give me. I really do appreciate it. And I will continue to say so, because if it wasn't for people like you, I would not have achieved the success I have achieved. So, and of course, we're going to close it the same way we always close it. We must do everything possible to reduce the influences of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we'll be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, saying good night, take care, and peace.